This is Raspberry Pi. It's an incredibly powerful mini computer. It can do a lot of powerful things. But to turn it into a brain of your robotics or home automation or any of your DIY electronic project, it needs to interact with the world. And today, we are going to write our first Python script to control real hardware. But first, we'll be starting with simple LED, and then we'll be using the same logic, and then step by step we'll be creating our own simple home automation system powered by Raspberry Pi. And then we'll be creating a simple DIY robot which could be controlled with the computer keyboard. I'll be explaining everything in a step-by-step, easy to understand manner so that it will be easy for you to follow along and study everything in a fun and interactive way. All the code, circuit diagrams and everything, all the resources will be provided in the link in the description down below. So you can simply use it for your projects. So let's get started. For this tutorial, I'll be using Raspberry Pi 4, but if you have a Raspberry Pi 5 or Raspberry Pi 3 or Raspberry Pi 0, you can use them as well. All the codes and everything that I share in this tutorial are compatible with almost all the Raspberry Pi boards. So the first thing that we need to do is set up an operating system for the Raspberry Pi. For beginners, I always recommend Raspberry Pi OS. It's a very lightweight and simple OS for Raspberry Pi for beginners. And for the Raspberry Pi, the hard disk will be this micro SD card. So we need to burn the operating system in the micro SD card and then insert this micro SD card to this Raspberry Pi, right? We can easily install operating system on a micro SD card with a software called Raspberry Pi Disk Imager. Just make sure you provide a proper hostname, username, password and Wi-Fi SSID and password as well, so that when the Raspberry Pi boots up, it will be automatically connected to our Wi-Fi network, it will get an IP address and we will be able to connect to it with or without a monitor. If you have any doubts in this step, make sure you watch our previous video where we explain step-by-step instructions to set up and configure Raspberry Pi for absolute beginners. So once the image is completely copied in the micro SD card, we can remove it from the computer and simply insert this micro SD card to our Raspberry Pi, like so. Then all we need to do is simply power up the Raspberry Pi using a micro USB cable. So now it's booting up. And you can also plug a monitor and a keyboard right into your Pi. Or if you want, you can SSH into it from our main computer like I am doing right here. As long as you can see the Raspberry Pi terminal or desktop, you are ready to go. Now in this Raspberry Pi, you see these 40 pins here? This is the GPIO or General Purpose Input Output pins. Think of this as the nervous system of our robot. For example, we can program these pins to send electrical signals out to control things or read signals in from things like sensors. In order to control things like an LED with a GPIO pin, let's say pin number 18, we will be setting the pin value to high. The moment you set the pin 18 to high, the voltage at pin 18 will be set to 3.3 volt. With that, we can control an LED or any other devices connected to pin 18. Alright, I will show you an example to make you understand better in a few minutes. Now, for the first project, we'll be using an LED and a resistor. This resistor will be connected to the GPIO pin of the Raspberry Pi and the other end of the resistor will be connected to the anode of the LED. And the other end of the LED will be connected back to the ground of Raspberry Pi. Okay, so we can place our LED on the breadboard and connect the short leg to the ground pin of Raspberry Pi. And then we can connect the long leg to the resistor. And then connect the other side of that resistor to the GPIO pin 18 of Raspberry Pi. So why did we choose pin 18? Honestly, you can pick almost any GPIO pin you want, but pin 18 is an all reliable standard. Double check your wiring to make sure nothing is crossed. Now we are good to go. Before we write a full program, let's test this directly from the terminal. Type Python to open the interactive shell. We are going to import the LED module from a library called GPIO0. Then we tell the Pi that our LED is on pin 18. Now type LED.on and there we go. The LED is now turned on. And now let's type LED.off and now it has turned off. You just controlled a physical hardware from a command line. And congrats guys, this is the first step. But typing commands one by one is cool. but real robots needs autonomous programs that will turn on and off the LED automatically. And guys, let me share with you something that might be really helpful for you. If you are really into electronics and robotics, then you know PCBs and circuits will always be a part of your life. And if you have been watching our videos, you know we use a tool called Altium to draw our circuits and design our PCBs. We have been using Altium PCB Designer for the past 6 years and I highly recommend you guys give it a try. There are so many beginner friendly, easy to use tools that allows us to draw the circuit, create the PCB. You know all the custom PCBs that we have created in the past, all were done using Altium PCB Designer. And this actually allows us to see what the PCB actually look like even before production. So that is actually cool. If you are a DIY electronics enthusiast, you're gonna love it. So the link is in the description down below, so make sure you check it out. Now we start by importing our LED tool again, but this time we also import sleep from the time library. This lets us add pauses to our code. Next, we type while true. In robotics, we almost always use an infinite loop like this. This is similar to the loop function in Arduino. This is because we want our robot's brain to keep running and checking things until you turn it off. So what we do here is, we tell the LED to turn on, then sleep for 1 second or pause for 1 second, then turn off and again sleep for 1 second or pause for 1 second, and then repeat the same thing. Now once this is done, simply hit run. And there you go. Our first fully automated hardware script is ready. Perfect. Now we will be taking it one step further. Take a look at this script. And here we will be adding a fade effect for the LED. In order to do that, we will be importing PWM LED from GPIO 0. Then we will be creating different functions. One to blink fast, then blink slow, then we have the fade effect, and then we also have the blink at random. And in the infinite loop, that is while true, we will be calling each functions one by one. First we will be calling blink fast function, then we will be sleeping for 1 second, then we will be calling blink slow function, then we will be sleeping for 1 second, then we call fade effect function, then we sleep for 1 second, and then we call random blink function, then we will be sleeping for 2 seconds. Now we can simply run the code with Python file name, that is python ledeffects.py. Okay, hit enter. Now first it will be running fast blink, and then it will be running slow blink, and here since the sleep interval is a little bit high, it will take a little bit more time. Alright, so once that is done, then it will be running the fade effect. So here as you can see, the LED turns on and off with a fade effect. This is done using pulse width modulated signals, which I will be explaining to you in the next project. And once this is completed, then it will be running the random blink. So it will be blinking at random. Now we are going to build two real awesome projects. One will be a simple DIY robot controlled by Raspberry Pi. Then we will be building a home automation system that is powered by Raspberry Pi. And with that, we should be able to control the lights, the fans and everything from our mobile phone. So let's check it out.